Guys, it's time. Hey guys, welcome to Poots Garage. One thing we always do on this channel is we got to go to the map. So what we're gonna do is you comment where you're watching from and I'll put a red pin on the map. And we're at the map. I really screwed up this week. Okay, I screwed up like 3 weeks ago. I haven't done this map thing in actually I think it's been about 3 weeks now. So I got 25 locations to get through. So let's try and do this really quick. First up is Salton City, California. Next up in the Navajo Nation, we got Crown Point, New Mexico. Then Florence, Colorado. Scranton, Pennsylvania. On Lake Hartwell, Westminster, South Carolina. Du Bois, Wyoming. Miami, Arizona. Lexington, North Carolina. Logan, Utah. El Dorado, Kansas. Davisboro, Georgia. Cowfold, England. The entire nation of South Africa. Fernley, Nevada, also known as Ferntucket or Ferntucky. Saskatoon, Canada. Denver, Colorado. Go Broncos. I forgot to mention earlier, Westminster was my first South Carolina, so this one is going to Lexington, South Carolina. London, Ontario, Canada. Las Cruces, New Mexico. Cedar City, Utah. Newport, Washington. Peoria, Arizona. Whitehorse, Yukon, Canada. Tulsa, Oklahoma. And last is Weert in the Netherlands. So that's all the pins for this week. Keep calling out them cities, them states, them countries, whatever you want to represent. What's up guys? I hope you're still with me after that ridiculous intro. But that was pretty fun to do. Anyways, if you didn't notice, we're working on the Corvette today. We gotta do some Corvette videos, so let's get some content out. So we're kind of taking care of a couple things that have bugged me ever since I own this car. I've had this car, but I've never been able to do much with it until now. We're starting to get some time so I can finally take care of things. So one is we're gonna change all the fluids in the whole thing. We got to drain everything out, rear end, transmission, engine, everything. We're changing it all. Just so I can get a good baseline of where to start with this car, because I have no idea what the condition of anything in this is. And the next, we're gonna pull off the inner door panel on the driver's side. I gotta look at that window regulator to see why it's so crunchy sounding. And yeah, stick around and we'll go for a test drive at the end. You won't wanna miss that. So we are finally changing all the fluids in this car. I have never changed a single fluid in this car. That's one reason I haven't really driven it much. Another reason was registration ran out and different things like that. So we're finally changing everything. I'm not gonna do slow motions of oil draining out of an oil pan. That's kind of not very exciting. So since I've owned this car for 2 years now, I've never changed a single fluid. So I have no idea what the history even is before me owning it. Now the car only has 46,000 miles, but age does a horrible thing on fluids also. This car is almost 19 years old now. This is a 2004. So that's it's pretty old. So we need to get the stuff changed out so I know how the condition of all the fluids are. So what we're doing right now is engine, we're doing transmission, and then we're doing rear differential. As you can see, I've already got the car jacked up. Maybe you can't see, but yeah, the car's already up in the air. I'm already draining everything. Everything's already dripping out of it. But I will show you what I'm actually putting back in the car. And this is what we're going with. So we're going kind of more expensive, nicer stuff because it's, you know, a performance car and stuff like that. Even though it's a budget performance car, we still got to put some good fluids in it. So we're doing royal purple on all the rear end stuff, and we're doing Mobil 1 on the engine. So for the rear differential, we're doing just a 7590, but this is a synthetic fluid, and this has the limited slip additive already in it, so we don't need to add anything extra. This is actually their nicer differential fluid also, so it's kind of a little upgrade. For the transmission, it's a manual transmission, but these manual transmissions require automatic transmission fluid. So that's basically what we're doing, but Royal Purple actually makes a fluid that's specifically for transmissions that use ATF. So this isn't actually ATF, but it's a fluid that's designed for those type of transmissions. And then engine oil is the Mobil 1 synthetic. That's actually what's required, or I shouldn't say required, but recommended by the actual manufacturer that actually has Mobil 1 on the oil fill cap on these Corvettes. So we're gonna stick with that, put that back in there. And of course we got a new oil filter. This is probably their nicest filter you can buy from Napa, so I said screw it, throw that one in. And that's basically it. That's what we're putting back in this car. It's a fairly simple process. Once you get the car off the ground, all the drain plugs are super easy to get to, and then we'll just throw the stuff back in and it'll be ready to rock, and we can start figuring out how to incorporate this car into videos more often. I want to start exploring different like camera options and different things to actually do like cool driving videos and different things like that. And then we do have a lot of upgrades planned for the future. I got to put in the MGW shifter that I already have. I want to do an exhaust. I need to get some sound out of that thing. And then the stereo, I need to do a huge revamp on the stereo. And there's actually a company out there called Night Drive TV. They're the ones that make the headlights that I put on that car. I got some really cool LED like square headlights. And, you know, the pop-ups only come up halfway and they got LEDs under it. Really neat. They're actually designing a whole new radio screen that's going to integrate the radio and all the HVAC controls into one unit, plus some other stuff if they can. They've already brought it out basically for the C6 Corvettes, but those are a little easier to do because they're a little more electronic. These cars are just a hair more mechanical, so they're working on that. So I'm gonna reach out to them, and I've already kind of thrown the bone out there, but I'm gonna try to be a beta tester for that system when they come out with it. So I'm gonna pay real close attention to them on their designing and different things on that. And as soon as it's ready, I'm gonna see if I can get in on it. And then once I get in on that, it's gonna be a requirement. They've already stated it because they're looking for beta testers for the C6. Is you know, you gotta put it all over social media and different stuff like that, and you know, YouTube and stuff. And I'm all about that. So it'll be kind of cool, I think, to make a bunch of videos on a brand new product. So maybe later this year we'll get something going on that. So that'd be kind of cool. All right, I guess I can actually show you the car a little bit while we got it up here. So you can see it's off the ground. I got drain pans underneath it. Engine's looking good. Here we are under the back end here, and we got everything draining out there too. It's pretty much done. I need to cap it all off and fill it all back up. But you can see the underside of this car is not in too bad a shape. It's a little dirty. You got these horrible stock exhausts that need to go away. And last week, we actually got it registered in the state. Interior's looking pretty good. She's filthy. I need to do a full detail on this car. So right now, I actually want to take a look at this window regulator. This window is, it's always made a lot of noise going up and down since I bought it, and I'm afraid that the regulator cable is probably coming apart. And don't know if you heard that crunchy sound. I'll give you a closer up look of that. So the window regulators on these Corvettes, if I remember right, they should be pretty similar to all the 2000s GM vehicles. And they have like cables that run through pulleys and different things to, you know, with the electric motor that rises and lowers the window. And back in the mid 2000s when I worked at a Chevy dealer, it was very common for those cables to break, which would leave, you know, your window inoperative, and usually it was always stuck down. So I would like to avoid having a window that breaks, you know, as I'm going to the store and then it won't roll back up or something where I gotta park it somewhere with no window. So let me give you an even closer look so you can hear what I'm hearing. Don't mind how dirty this is. I need to do a full detail on this car. But this is what we got going on. Now it's possible it's not the window regulator, it could be something else going on in there. I'm not sure at this point, but I have a feeling it's gonna be a bad cable of some sort, or maybe a pulley or whatnot. I have no parts for this, so I'm pretty much gonna take it apart, order stuff, probably put it back together until I get parts for it and whatnot, but I just wanna pull this door cover off and see what we got going on in there. It's been a long time since I took one of these apart. I'm gonna have to try and figure it out as I go again. We got everything apart. I've been looking over everything. I can't specifically find the bad spot, but it definitely feels like there's a bad cable in there somewhere. I'm guessing it's somewhere inside of this sheath or whatever, so you can't really see it, even though I can feel the bare cable like on the pulleys and different things. Everything's moving like it should, but it's really hard to pinpoint. It seems like most of the noise is coming from these 3 bolts here is the back side of the window motor itself. It seems like the noise is coming right around there, so I don't know if the frayed cables are in there or something. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna order up a whole new window regulator, and it should come with the new motor and everything. It should be all just one assembly. Hopefully they aren't too expensive, but we're just gonna order that up and get it coming, and then we can replace that later. Well, that was pretty simple. Easy to take off, easy to put back on once you know how to do it. I did forget to put my little vapor barrier back on under there, but we'll throw that back on when we get the new part. There's no sense in taking my door panel back off just to put this back on, just to take it back off, to put parts in, and then put this back on, and then put the door panel back on. Yeah, we're not doing all that. thanks for sticking around for the whole video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you're still here. We got a lot planned for this car, a lot planned for the square body K30 over there that a lot of people are here for. So please stick with me and let's do this.